Okay, look here, we're gonna put this gasket on here today. And I done went over yonder to the big store and got this here gasket stuff. And this right here is the best gasket sealer for gasoline that's on the market. It's to the point to, if you don't have this, don't even put your engine together. This sealer is recommended for gasoline service. It's a very good product. The new ethanol blends, this works really, really good. If it's one recommendation that you get out of this whole series, it's how important it is to seal these gas tanks. As you can see, I have applied the gasket sealer to both surfaces. Use ample enough sealer, but do not use too much. Another thing that I do, if you don't want to do this, by all means do it different. I cut my gaskets oversized on the inside and outside both on the initial cutting. I will leave this extra gasket on the inside because some of these castings on the Maytag tank are only 1/8 of an inch thick. And that's just not enough gasket. If you cut a gasket 1/8 inch thick, the distance between these bolt holes is too much, and your gasket will squeeze in or out. If you'll cut it thick, it won't squeeze in or out. This is assembled, and you put it right on yonder. Also, the bolts, I do take a little extra time and put just that much sealer on the bolt hole. Just that much sealer on each bolt thread. This kind of protects the threads on the bolts. And I put all of these bolts in except the corner one on the front corner, and I'll use a new bolt because I am not going to put the side cover on at this time. So I do use a new bolt here, and that bolt is longer than the other bolts. This is a specialized tool for some bolt on a Briggs and Stratton, and I modified it, and it does fit the slot in the Maytag bolts. And there is a full set of these slotted bolts on the Maytag gas tank. I'm going to paint this engine today, so I cannot be fooling around too much. I got to get on with this right here. But if you tighten those down really tight, but not to the point to where you mar the head of the bolt. And in reality, the only bolt you need this tool on is the one right here. The other ones you can do with a normal socket, as they are hex bolts. But as you can see, the socket won't fit this bolt right here. That is the reason for the modified tool, to tighten this bolt up. We have, these needs to be really tight, but also at the same time, keep it in mind that we're working with cast iron here. And you just trim away all the way around with a razor blade. If you are restoring an engine, do not do this. On a restored engine, this gasket would be sticking out all the way around because they are die cut. The factory did not do this. But if you're building an engine there in your shop, you can do as you wish. We're going to carry right along now. I have trimmed this up a little lacquer thinner on the cloth, and I did go around and clean around every bolt, and I have it's primered with Rust-Oleum rusty metal primer. It has been cleaned before that. In the electrolysis tank, I'm going to use dark hunter green Rust-Oleum. I'm going to mask this area off with masking tape because that's where the side cover for the magneto fits. That needs to make electrical contact. Masking off everything that you don't want to paint. Take a little extra time. Do a decent masking job. It'll save you on cleanup. And I made this thing right here some years ago. It's nothing but an eye bolt and a adapter, a couple of nuts, and it screws in right there where your gas tank cap would be. And I also made another one with a different size pipe adapter, eye bolt that screws in the spark plug hole. It's 1/2 inch pipe thread. This is 3/8 pipe thread. And you screw them in yonder, get them in there pretty good where you don't have to worry about a thread. You put that in yonder like that, and then you take this piece of wire right here, and you hook that right in yonder, and you hook that right in there. Now you can hang this engine up. Moving right along, we are ready to paint the Junkyard Special. And as you can see, I have masked off everything that I didn't want to paint. I put bolts in thread holes that I didn't want to get paint in them. I have it hanging on a swivel where I can turn it around. I can paint the bottom, I can paint the top. I have access to all sides. It's pretty much what we would call a short block. When you see it again, it will have 3 full coats of Rust-Oleum dark hunter green. It's the Junkyard Special.